I tried to reassure myself as soon as I boarded the cruise ship that everything would be all right, possibly even pleasant. Cambria had meticulously prepared the entire family's vacation, calling it a reset after our difficult year. She described a lavish reunion, with her entire clan celebrating unity on a 5-star liner bound for the Caribbean. I had just closed a critical chapter in my career, so I paid for the trip without blinking. In 2 days, I had a partnership presentation that would either launch my firm into the Asia-Pacific or leave us circling local markets forever. I needed serenity, clarity, maybe even a bit of faith. I should have known something was wrong when the steward hesitated after the welcome celebration. Instead of a suite, I was led to a broom closet. "Checking your room assignment this way, sir," he said, his voice somewhere between sympathetic and confused. We walked past the mid-deck quarters, past the ocean view cabins, past shimmering suites with balcony doors, and finally into a small offensive corridor that reeked of industrial cleaner. No desk, no window. A single twin bed jammed between 2 beige walls. A broom hung behind the door. A mop bucket sat under the bed. "Is this a crew room?" I asked, needing a moment, 3 whole seconds, to accept that this wasn't a mistake. The steward shook his head. "No, sir. This is the room that was reserved for you. By Cambria Donovan." I stared at him, but he was already backing away. I pulled out my phone and checked the travel app. 2 premium motion view rooms, one for Cambria and her brother Des, one for her cousin Rena, and one janitor's closet, apparently for me. I stood there, the steel hum of the ship's engine vibrating under my feet, bleach stinging my nose. I laughed, or tried to. I had paid for 16 people, Cambria's family, plus her little group of influencer friends. And here I was, tucked into a supply closet that barely passed for a cell. That night, I entered the formal dining room with my jaw clenched. Cambria sat at the center table in an emerald green gown, laughing over champagne like royalty. Her friends Bree and Margot flanked her, dressed to the nines, forkfuls of truffle risotto in hand. "Hey, babe," Cambria said, leaning back with that polished, country club smile she'd perfected since age 12. "Did you find your room okay?" "You mean the closet?" She didn't even flinch, just sipped her wine like it was nothing. "Bree thought it'd be funny," she said. Rena leaned over, giggling. "You should have seen his face, Cam. You're evil." Cambria laughed. "But at least you won't get seasick." I could have made a scene, yelled, flipped the table, but I didn't. I sat at the edge where the waitress had placed a name card that said Mr. Donovan. It felt more like a warning label than a greeting. As dinner went on, I felt like I was watching the universe from behind glass. Unimportant, unnoticed. They mocked me like I wasn't even there. Cambria made jokes about my hibernation when I worked. They laughed about how I disappear into project mode for 2 days. No one asked about my presentation. Not even once. That deal was 7 figures. The salmon on my plate was as overcooked as the wine was sour. That night, I slept in the dark on a mattress that sagged in the middle, the ceiling inches from my face. I stared up, wondering when Cambria had last admired me, last looked at me with any warmth. Now, all I saw were side glances, smirks, and champagne glasses clicking like nails. I wasn't just shoved into a broom closet. I was trapped in a marriage. That had become one, too. In 2 days, my pitch wasn't just a business deal. It was a lifeline, my reset. And I'd be damned if they took that from me. The mattress felt like it was stuffed with towels. I woke up sore, stiff-necked, and ready. Cambria and her carefully curated crew were off snapping sunrise selfies and lounging at the spa. I was in my cabin, hunched over my backup laptop, rehearsing transitions and anticipating Mason Urex's toughest questions. The promotion wasn't just a title. It was a key to equity, legacy, the Asia-Pacific expansion. That's when my phone buzzed. Notifications, dozens of them. I hadn't touched social media in weeks, but curiosity won. Facebook, TikTok. I opened them, photos, videos, Cambria, Bry, Rena, Dez, all smiling on the beach, drinks in hand, matching hats. The caption, ocean breeze, no dead weight. Boomerangs, selfies, filters. I wasn't tagged in anything, not a single one. Then I saw it. A freeze frame of me mid-bite, awkward, mouth open. The caption, our workaholicus band, a sticker added by Bree. Should we feed him a spreadsheet? It wasn't an oversight. It wasn't accidental. It was intentional. These people who smiled at me over appetizers were laughing behind my back, mocking me. I left my room without even tying my shoes. I found Cambria, lounging with sunglasses the size of her ego, sipping something tropical. You didn't even tell me, I said. You left me out. She didn't even glance up. You were working. You scheduled this, the trip, that closet. You excluded me. She shrugged. You always act like everything at work is life or death. I was letting you do your thing. I wanted to laugh, or yell, or throw her drink into the ocean. Instead, Bree walked by and offered a pity smile. We figured you liked the quiet. You're always so serious. I didn't answer. I didn't. Fight for a seat at that table. I went to guest services to upgrade my Wi-Fi. That's when I met Amamira. She wore a spotless black suit and had eyes that read people before they spoke. Can I help you, sir? I showed her my itinerary. Yeah, I need full-speed data access, and I want to know why I wasn't included in any of the group packages. She typed. Searched. Then looked up, brows raised. You're not part of the main event. No excursions, no lounges, not even assigned dining after the first night. All reservations were made by Cambria Donovan. She looked at me for a beat, longer than usual, then handed me a printed page and said, Some days I'm not sure why people travel together at all. Then she lowered her voice. If you need a quiet place to work, we have a small business lounge on Deck 9. It's private, underused, but peaceful. That night I stared at myself in the bathroom mirror. Cambria used to call me her rock. She admired how I stayed calm and built something of my own. But the more I grew, the less she respected it. Maybe because she couldn't take credit for it, or couldn't control it. I took my laptop, slid the passkey into my pocket, and walked through the ship. People were dancing, posing, chasing moonlight likes. I took the elevator down. Deck 9, business lounge, cold, quiet, and mine. The pitch was solid. Mason's hook would land. The data was flawless, and every backup file was secure. My promotion, my freedom, my future. Then, I got coffee. When I came back, everything changed. The hallway lights flickered, my cabin door creaked open, and there it was, my laptop. On the floor, screen dark, surrounded by a puddle of salt water. I ran in, heart pounding. The water trailed from the corner, soaking into the carpet. My USB ports dripped. I picked up the machine, carefully, pressing the power button once, twice. Nothing. Dead. And just like that, everything I'd been building was drowning.